Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Gray. So I just need to open my bees up this spring and take off their winter coverings. They don't need those little cozies anymore, and see what they're doing. They're buzzing. So I'm all set. I've got my smoker and I've got an EpiPen. And if they're not too feisty today, then I'll try to get some video while I'm in there. This is the bottom super of the green hive, which you couldn't tell when it had its cozy on. So the box is a super, and I've pulled and I've looked at most of the frames. The frames at the bottom super are empty, and that's because the bees in the winter time, they eat from the bottom super up to the top super. So that one's going to be a little more full. So what I'm going to do is because when bees think that they run out of room, they feel like they need a new house, and that's when they swarm. So I'm going to take this super that's empty and I'm going to put it on the top. So I'm going to switch places here. Take this top super, put it on the bottom, and then flip it vice versa. And why I'm doing that is so that the bees, they build up and they store up. So when they run out of room in this super, which I'm sure won't be too long, they'll see this empty super and they'll know that they have more room to work with. So and this is an empty frame, and I'll try to, when I open up the other super, hopefully I'll have something a little more exciting. But these bees, this is an empty frame, and those are empty cells. And you see the bees are there. You see some pollen that they're storing up, which is good. So they're finding pollen. And let's see, where are you, little bee? I saw one with pollen pants on. Right there you can see that she's actually got pollen still in her pants. So she's looking for, they're on her legs there, her back legs. She's looking for a place to store that pollen. And lots of bees here actually have that, which is fantastic. There's another good shot of a bee with pollen pants on. So I'm going to put this back together. I don't like to keep my hives open for too long because they don't like it, which I don't blame them. And I'll hopefully get a better shot of a frame with some action. Here's another frame from the top super that I had shown you, and I actually found the queen. Can you see her there? She's gorgeous. I will zoom in on her, or move closer rather. That is the queen, and the way I know how to look for the queen now, because it took me ages to get good at it, is I look for the frames that have young eggs in them. Now, I don't know if you can see them, but there are little teeny tiny little eggs in there. This is the brood, and so this is a frame with brood on it. This is young wax. I love this frame. It's when I started, they started building up last year. So anyways, I want to be gentle with that queen. I don't want her to fall out, so I'm not going to hold this too much. But I just wanted to show you how beautiful she is, and that's my queen of this hive. This is another frame from the same super where I just showed you the queen, and you see this is older brood. It's called capped brood. It looks like toast. Some of those empty cells, the bees have already escaped. The buildup wasn't great here. I knocked some of that off. I felt bad. They had started to build male brood. The bigger brood is male brood there, and it's great to have male brood. Although mites are attracted to male brood, which are male bees. But it's just they're not building it the correct way, so I knocked it off in hopes of encouraging them to build more properly. So anyways, this is older brood. This is pretty soon. Every once in a while I can catch them doing it. Bees will be popping out of the holes that are still covered. Today, I've opened up both hives. I took off their winter coverings, their cozies, and I reversed the two supers. So I took the bottom super and I put it in on top, and so now it's really actually the middle box. And then I added these top boxes here on both hives. That's actually those are empty boxes, and I'm going to use those to give them some sugar water. So the bees are here. Here's the inner cover, kind of the top of their hive. This is an empty super, and then that's their outer cover. So my bees are all set for a little while. I'm going to make some sugar water for them and give that to them tomorrow, and they're all set. Thanks for checking out my bees with me.